Okay, welcome back. Markets are up significantly. I mean, about 50 odd points from the day's low, thanks to banks. And I've been saying this for the last 1.5 odd hours or so. When the recovery started there, both public sector and private sector banks started moving higher. We pointed to that space, and take a look at what it has done for the overall market now. Just 20 points lower on the Nifty from being 70 lower earlier. Bank Nifty is up 46 points, way off the lows. PSU Bank Index is up 0.83% compared to Friday's close. I mean, so these are strong gains, strong advances which banks have really made. Suresh Venkatachari is Chairman 8K Miles Software Services. He's joining us on a Skype link from Chennai. Mr. Venkatachari, thank you for your time. Good to have you with us here. Now, 8K Miles has acquired a company called NexAge. So it specializes in the life sciences sector, and you paying $3 million for this, fourth acquisition over the past 1 year or so. Can you take us through a little bit about the acquisition and what exactly does it do in the life sciences space?
Okay. NexAge is a company which specializes in the pharma life science vertical, providing a computer validation services qualified for the drug testing process, and which fits into our Cloud EasyRx product, which is provided a complete cloud, secure cloud platform for pharma life industry to move into the qualified vertical. So basically, NexAge has a lot of domain expertise, which is complementary to our pharma cloud solutions. Basically, this helps to extend our overall offering, and they have an IP in the data migration area and also in the analytics part, which also will help us into overall growth.
So could you give me a comparison, here in India? I mean, a company. So essentially, this is a company. Just explain the business of the company for us. When you say drug validation, what exactly do you mean?
Any clinical.
So it keeps the records for the testing. What were the results of it? Is that essentially what it does?
Correct. And provided to the FDA reporting kind of a thing. They do the validation services for whole drug testing process. We have acquired a Mindprint, which is earlier about like 6 months back, close to 6 months back, which is the CRO space. And this is actually on the pharma and life science space. So it fits perfectly well. What we do is we help basically any pharma customer to set up and move into the cloud from the data center. Build a fully secured GBX compliant architecture where they can able to connect multiple clouds, whether it's Amazon or Microsoft Azure or a Google Cloud, and move all these things under a secured compliant architecture, which is one of the very, very key requirement for pharma industry for FDA reporting and everything. So we started doing the pharma solution for the last year and a half. And so we want to expand that into the domain expertise where we can able to have go in depth into the pharma vertical customer. So this strengthens our overall offering, and they have basically does both qualification and validation applications running on the cloud.
Is the business that NexAge does NexAge need to be registered with the US FDA? Or it has no direct kind of interface with the FDA, with the regulator?
No direct relationship with the regulator. Basically, it helps the pharma companies to do the process, the validation process.
So it looks like you are creating a sort of bunch of companies, a boutique of companies, if I can use that word. Three companies in the last 1 year.
Yeah, it's actually, this is basically a very strategic piece. If you really see, we as a secure cloud player, we are focusing on two verticals. One is the healthcare and another is the pharma life science. So both verticals require a huge compliance requirement, which is a HIPAA compliance and the GPX compliance. On the cloud architecture, if you really see, like Amazon or Microsoft Azure can only provide 4 or 5 out of the 17 requirements of HIPAA compliance. So that's where the biggest gap actually. So the healthcare or pharma hospitals or pharma companies are not migrating fully into the cloud, and they are always concerned about the data security, privacy, compliance, and audits, and various governance issues. That is the area which 8K Miles fit the gap with the public cloud player and build all the security processes and validation, compliance architecture, which can automate them in a very, very faster time, and also to provide a complete a cost optimization view for a CFOs to manage their infrastructure. So it's a kind of a moving away from a data center operation, IT operation, into a cloud-centric operation for a pharma companies or hospital to save cost, to go quickly into the market, like a pharma company, for instance, quickly drug into the market. And the third thing is also it helps on the analytics on the top of the things, because this requires analytics requires a huge processing capability, and that can't be traditionally run under a direct cloud data center model. So it's basically from a private cloud, they have to move into the public cloud model. And the biggest concern for all these pharma companies is actually, is this application is going to run on a GBX compliant if I'm accessing on that on a public cloud sector. So that is what we precisely address. And to address the gaps, various gaps, we need a domain expertise. AQMRs is a company which is predominantly in the technology centric. We build security architecture. So we look at a companies where it can be a strategic fit. It's not for a pure revenue accretion. It's for mainly the reason to expand the overall offering and go in depth with the customer.
All right, fair enough. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining in with that perspective, and hope our viewers and potentially your investors benefited from that conversation. Mr. Venkatachari, thank you indeed. Let's take a quick break here. We'll come back in 2 minutes. We'll have more on the other side, more details on what's happening in the market, because that's really the headline. It's down 70 points at start, at the day's low, and huge recovery. 7959. Banks essentially is what is driving the recovery. We're back with more on that.